Another whole week behind us. That means a whole new Speedway conversation lies ahead. Welcome back to 360 Speedway. Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you doing out there? Hope you're all fit and well. Thank you very much for helping us to get back up and running in 2026. It's great to be back and with plans to improve what we do. More news on that soon. Okay, let's, without further ado, we're already on 2 minutes. No time for gardening or preamble chit-chat. Let's get ourselves up to tapes then on episode number 2 of series 2. Introducing this week's lineup of Speedway punditry excellence. And I've got to say, we've got rider replacement in operation tonight. We only have 2 of the usual crew able to join this week's episode. Let's introduce them now. First up, he was Mr. Dependable and more on track and proven to be exactly the same behind the 360 mic. Welcome back, Stuart Robson. Hey, Stuart. Welcome back.
Good evening, everybody.
Next, another doing 2 in the trots for 360 Speedway in 2026. The man with more true grit than John Wayne himself, from Yorkshire, Yorkshire's finest, Nigel Crabtree. Good evening, Nigel.
Evening, Derek. Hi, everybody.
This week, so collectively, only two of the pundits and myself, collectively this week's handlebar heroes. Usual disclaimer applies that any views expressed are those of us as individuals and bear no resemblance whatsoever to any clubs, former or current, that we are or were associated to. Okay, here we go. If you're ready, let's begin. Let's get us underway this week as we bring you some more chat with another star of the shale, a young man who had literally grown up in front of our eyes and with plenty of impressive World Championship and league-winning medals to back it up already. Welcome for the first time to 360 Speedway 2, Mr. Tom Brennan. Hey, Tom Brennan.
Hello, thank you for having me.
That was
a pretty impressive build-up you just gave me there. I didn't know if I was walking into a boxing ring or not. That was pretty good, thank you.
I need to practice how to...
Yes, that was good.
I need to practice that a bit, Tom.
Perfect.
Tom, listen, thanks for making some time to talk to us, and you're looking well. The smile is back on the face, I see, Tom. And given the way that 2025 ended for you, it's terrific to see you smiling and back in business, Tom.
100%, we're back. It's been surprisingly not that. 100%, we're back. It's been surprisingly not that much of a hard road to kind of get back. I think I've unfortunately been a little bit too experienced in kind of breaking legs at the minute, so that's a blessing, but also not at the same time. But no, we've been good. I've been very fortunate to have very good people around me, and we're here. I'm now lucky enough to be able to join you guys tonight and talk some Speedway.
Talk some nonsense. I thought you were going to say, Tom. Yeah.
I could have. I was really nice.
Listen, Tom, we always, of course, intended to ask you about your recovery and quite where you are on that road to recovery. But I noticed, as luck would have it, that last night on your own social media accounts that you did issue a bit of an update. So for those watching on 360 who didn't see your update, Tom, can you just update us and tell us quite where you are, please?
Yeah, so I had a spiral fracture on my left leg, which wasn't, good. It was one of them it was such a stupid crash because you probably could have ran faster than the pace I was going, which is really, really disheartening. But it was one of them. It was when I did a spiral fracture on my left leg, fib and tib. It was then a case of getting back home. We were in America for about 2 weeks. Got home, started the recovery process. My club in Big Gosh have been absolutely amazing. They've given me some physio and all the help I need. And from that point onwards, we've been surrounding ourselves with good people and just trying to get back. And we now have the green light, I would say, for about middle to end of Feb to when we can really start getting back on the bike. And obviously, as soon as the weather kind of allows us. So things are going good. And yeah, I mean, we have a push bike now, so I'm like trying to get some sort of exercise in because I'm looking a bit more like a potato than kind of Tom Brennan I was the end of last year because of Christmas dinner. But we need to try and get some of that off, and we should be good to go.
Christmas and New Year always makes you feel like that, Tom. Believe, trust me. Yeah. Tom, listen,
That just means you're doing it right, doesn't it, really?
Exactly. Tom, listen, I know you want to move on and put that injury behind you, and I hope you won't mind me asking you about it, only because, Tom, and you've alluded to it already, it was a very unusual injury sustained in kind of unusual circumstances. So there you were out in the States, about to take part in a sort of international meeting out there,
Yep.
and you were doing some practice, and that's what makes it quite unusual that you sustained the injury that you did whilst you were practicing. Are you able just to give us a little bit of a sense of what happened, or who was at fault? Was it pilot error, Tom, or something else?
Yeah. Well, everybody actually turned around and told me how fast I was in practice. So, I mean, that's obviously the main thing, right? But it was no, it was one of them. It was a very, very stupid crash. It was definitely rider error. I think it was another thing. I mean, Stuart can probably reiterate on this a little bit. I'm used to riding probably like your standard 58s, 56 sprockets, and I went to industry, which is in America, where you're probably running like a 65, 66. So obviously the back wheel was naturally spinning a lot more, and I kind of come down the straight going in the corner, and as I come off the gas, it kind of caught back up with itself and just spun me round, and it was a very, very rookie error. It was something that I think, what are you doing, you donut, So it was very fluke. I probably couldn't do it again if I tried, but it was the way that I landed, because I spun around and then my ankle was at kind of the wrong angle. So when the bike come on top of me, it folded my leg that way, So pilot error. So there isn't really much more to say about that. I'd love to say something went wrong, but unfortunately it didn't.
You should have made something up, Tom. Something up, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably need to work on that story a bit more.
Yeah. Listen. Thanks for sharing that with us. Do you know, Tom? I was just thinking. We talked about. You're still a very young guy, comparatively speaking, to the rest of us on this call. But we can barely believe, or I can barely believe, that you're about to start. I think it's your 7th professional season this year, and the clubs that you've been associated to over the course, Tom: Eastbourne, Glasgow, Poole, Bellevue, Ipswich, Birmingham, Lodge, Ravitch, Gdansk, Bydgoszcz, India, and Vastervik.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, Tom, over those 6 or 7 years, you've done plenty of hard yards already.
Yeah, things have. I mean, I'm really, really fortunate to have the people I have around me. That's kind of step one. Without everybody around me, I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I have. And of course, I kind of race the bike, but there's a hell of a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So very fortunate to be able to work with such good people, and to be also race for such kind of amazing clubs. I mean, you mentioned them there, and I can't really believe it, to be honest. And I'm really happy with so far, but hopefully this is just a start for me, and I can keep on working with these high-level clubs and continue up that ladder.
So, Tom, one question. I don't know how often you will have been asked this, but it's something that kind of interests me, and I hope it will be of interest to people watching. You've raced, as we've just said, in Britain and Sweden and Poland predominantly. You've done a bit of racing out in the States as well, and Australia. But thinking about those European nations, can you help supporters understand a little bit what the key differences might be in terms of racing in Poland versus Sweden versus Britain? And I'm thinking here about the typical track size, or the materials, or the general facilities, the crowds, just that sort of thing that kind of helps you identify a Swedish venue versus a Polish versus a British one.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on about that all day. The main thing that really kind of gets at me a little bit is everybody's like, oh, you kind of have all of your good stuff in Poland, and then you have all your rubbish stuff in England. That's kind of what everybody thinks. Everyone thinks, and then Sweden's somewhere in the middle. It isn't like that at all. It's the stuff that I race in England is the same as what I race in Sweden, and the same as what I race in Poland. Maybe the Polish stuff is newer, but it's exactly the same. And the engines are all made obviously for different places and different things like that. So that's a pretty big kind of problem that people seem to have, that you think, say Tom Brennan's brought his Polish bikes to Bellevue this week, he's going to go do amazing, and he goes and scores 4 points. It's the same thing. It's because the bikes are the same, and there's so much behind that. The crowds are definitely different. I mean, that's a really, really big thing. In terms of the track, I mean, they're very much more sandy, so you almost kind of blow yourself away rather than there's quite a lot of clay. Well, there used to be quite a lot of clay-based tracks in England, so but unfortunately that seems to be going a bit slick now too. So I hope we can kind of get that back for this year, a little bit more grip on the tracks, because everything seems to be a little bit too hard. And I understand it's very easier to make a slick track than it is a grippy track, so I don't know whether that's part of it, but other than that, it's when you kind of make that step to Poland and you kind of make the step to Europe, the difference is you then have to put your life on that too. So it doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter how you have to do it. You have to find a way. And there was a point when I first started when we quite literally had nothing, and it was me and my English mechanic where we were going back and forward together because we quite simply couldn't afford another mechanic. And that's the difference. You have to kind of dedicate yourself to be out there, and that's the difference. And all these kind of kids coming up now, they have to understand that too. That Speedway isn't free, and we're also very, very fortunate to be able to be paid at what we do at kind of such a low level as well. You know, even in National League, we're obviously getting paid to do what we want. And if you were to go buy a motocross bike, you still have to go pay your £40 entry and look after it all for a hobby. You know, so we have to be fortunate. And yeah, I mean that's kind of the entries in with it, really. So.
No, it's an interesting and very insightful answer, Tom. So thanks for sharing that. I guess, you know, the better you get, the more established you get, the better quality, better standard of a rider that you are.
Yeah.
In some senses, the deeper that you have to invest and get involved in speed, the deeper you've got to commit to being a full-time speedway rider, right? Yeah,
100%. I mean, you have to do what you got to do. When we started first racing in Europe, I would still go work in the winter, and that's kind of part of it, same as everybody. And then you kind of get to a point where you think this is what I'm going to do, and you have to put everything you can. So, of course, to reach a level, everything's kind of in stages, so you can't run before you can walk, obviously. But it's one of them. You have to, if you know this is what you want to do, you have to put your life into it, and same as every job.
Yeah. Listen, a couple more questions, and then I'll bring in the lads to put some of their own questions or comments to you, Tom.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, I'm going to flatter you now, but it's absolutely true. You are now a seriously established, accomplished rider, Tom. Your name is out there internationally. You race in Poland, Sweden, and Britain, as we've just touched on. You regularly race now in very good company in each of those countries. That must mean, surely, Tom, that you've got to. But or does it mean, maybe you can just confirm this, does it mean, Tom, that you are now under more pressure to some extent to produce the best version of yourself much more consistently? Every meeting, essentially.
Yeah, of course. I mean, naturally, the better you get, the more pressure you're going to get on your shoulders. That's kind of how life works, and people expect different things from you. But once again, I think I'm going to be repeating myself quite a lot. But I've got such great people around me that kind of keep me grounded and show me the way that it should be. And people don't sit there and kind of blow a smoke up my ass. You know, they kind of tell me how it is, and that's obviously what you need. So it kind of gets more pressure. But at the same time, you kind of earn that pressure. That's kind of the way that I look at it. Is if I wasn't under this pressure, then I obviously don't deserve it. So, it's one of them. You have to make sure you're ready for everything, and pressure only comes with a success. So I'm obviously proud to have that if I do have that.
It goes with the territory, doesn't it? Listen, you've mentioned a couple of times already that you are surrounded by some very good people, and I know that Team Brennan will be much wider than the Cummings family. But I didn't want to ask you, for those who aren't aware of the connections to the Cummings family, what each of the Cummings family contribute to Tom Brennan Racing.
No, I mean, Craig first and foremost has been a very, very influential guy in my whole career, and not only that, and also my whole life. So Craig obviously used to work for Billy, who was his manager. He also then worked for Sean Moran, Kelly Moran, and the list goes on. And he's shown me the way of life. He's pretty much been my dad there for like a long time, and I have so much respect for him. And Kerry, which is his wife, also does a hell of a lot. Everybody puts in their thing. We also have Kyle, who is my mechanic. He kind of started from the beginning. Very, very, very clever kid, and it's actually incredible the kind of stuff that he can do, especially on a computer. He's a master of engineering, so very, very clever guy. And for me, that's incredible to have. Kristen, who does my social media side of things now, so she used to do my accounts, used to do my social media, and a hell of a lot, and travelled me everywhere, and now she's taken on the sole role of social media, so everything you see is kind of from her, so massive thanks to her. And I mean, we've got so many people around me that kind of help. But yeah, the Cummings family have been absolutely incredible to me, and I wouldn't be able to thank them enough.
And it's nice for me personally to there's a little bit of a Scottish influence behind Tom Brennan. I like that.
Yeah,
like that.
And you know about it too, so it's good.
Exactly. Nigel and Stuart, I want to bring you in. So, on 360 Speedway, a number of times, unprompted, we have talked about Tom Brennan, haven't we? So, Nigel, I'll let you come in first. You can share your own views and opinions and put any questions that you want to Tom.
Only nice things, Nigel. Only nice things.
Hey Tom. Remember them days at Stowe when we used to wipe your ass for you? Yeah, we remember them. No.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Tom. It's great to hear a young Englishman speaking like you do. Absolutely brilliant. Everything you've said. I personally think, so many young lads come into Speedway and think they're entitled to a living and get paid straight away. And as you said, you can go and ride motocross and it costs you thousands and thousands of pounds, never earn a penny from it.
Yeah.
At a very low level at Speedway, you can earn money, which you have stated, and it's so good to hear from you. The young lads can listen to you and take a lot of heed from that, and I think it's brilliant, everything you've said. I didn't know you'd got Craig as your main man. Craig's been around donkey's years, hasn't he? I reckon Craig must be nearly as old as me.
I really hope he's watching this.
But you are so grounded with the people you've got on top. You've maybe got the easy bit just riding, haven't you?
Yeah,
I don't mean it like that, obviously, but you're all playing a part, and you really seem to have got it all sorted. And I'm really pleased to see it's coming good for you, and hope you can move on this year, because you really deserve to. And it'll be as with all the young English lads. We've had some really good English lads on here, as Derek. With Cooper last week. Dan Thompson's another one that's been on. Great attitude he has, as well as Cooper. And it's just great to hear you with the attitude you've all got.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic for you lads. For British Speedway, you've got a great outlook for it. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
In the introduction, I mentioned that Tom already has a couple of World Championship medals and league winners medals already, and he's only 24, so he's not doing too badly, Robbo.
No, not at all. He's doing very, very well, and following on from what Nigel just said there, and what Tom said himself, with the Cummins family behind him, they've been around the sport forever, and like you said, they will keep you grounded, especially Craig. He will tell you as it is. There'll be no pussyfooting about him, how he words things. He will tell you straight, won't he? So he's that type of person, and he knows. He's been around. He knows his stuff. So. He has a lot of good contacts, and it's great to have that kind of person behind you, and the whole family. To be fair, it sounds like the whole family are a team, and they're all obviously part of your team. So that's a brilliant thing to have behind you. So just following on from your injury, though, I see you obviously you're back on your cycle and you're getting a bit of fitness back. When do you sort of target to get back on the bike? Do you have a target for that?
Well, I mean, that's a tricky one. It should be. I mean, I probably could ride now if I really had to. I mean, I think I said it was 2 weeks after the injury. If I kind of had to race that day, I would. But I think being sensible, it would be around about middle to kind of end of February is when I'll be looking at trying to get on the bike. Probably more so, I would say, beginning of March would be definitely on the bikes. But if we can get on earlier, then I'll be happier.
Yeah, a little bit of advice there. Just make sure you are 100% fit when you get back on, especially to race. I mean, you might be able to get away with a bit of practice. Yeah. To race, you need to be at the level you're at, especially as well.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because it affects you. It can affect your head and how you think as well. And you need to,
sure.
Wide frame of mind and full fitness. It's all part of the package of racing.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I will take that on board for sure.
Thank you, gents. If you're enjoying this discussion with Tom Brennan, regardless of how you're watching or listening, please do hit that thumbs up button below. It's a really small but powerful action that really helps out the 360 Speedway brand and channel. Also wanted just to very, very quickly highlight that we have already lined up another big name interview next week, one that you really do not want to miss. Could I please encourage everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, and we will reveal early next week who the big name guest is, but one that you will not want to miss out on. Tom Brennan, coming back to you. Elephant in the room, Tom Brennan. As we have this conversation, you have not yet been announced as part of any British team for 2026. I guess I'm thinking Premiership here. I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to put you in a difficult position, Tom, but for your UK-based fans out there, of which there are many, Can you say anything even remotely reassuring to them? Perhaps even just to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, I'm really sorry to everybody that this is how it's happened, because I mean the league it's just a big shock with kind of a lot of these clubs going. So it's been a very, very, very tough time for them to be able to organise a league in time, and that's first and foremost. I mean, prior to about 2 weeks ago, I didn't really know any more than it's been a very, very, very tough time for them. Well, yeah, so it's definitely been a struggle, and as far as news going forward, I really hope we can be sharing good news with you in the next week or so. I think that we should be seeing a lot of team announcements in the next kind of couple of weeks, which is encouraging. And that's just, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't solely got anything signed yet. So we have to try and get the move on, and we have to try and get something sorted. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you should be able to see something.
So Tom Brennan fans out there, be a little bit more patient. Hopefully some good news yet to come. Tom, talking of British Speedway, it must have been such a memorable season last year to help Ipswich lift that league title after 28 years in the waiting. Quite the team, quite the side to have been part of, Tom.
Yeah, massively. Ipswich was such a good learning curve for me. It was such good people, and the management and everybody else involved really worked hard for that, and you could see it in Chris as well. Chris Louis, you could see how much he wanted that. So for us to accomplish that, and for us to do it at home as well, to have the second leg, and it was definitely such a good feeling. So obviously, really shame that obviously Chris isn't really part of it next year, same as Richie, because Richie Hawkins did such a fantastic job, and he's a team manager is such a big part of the team. Without sounding like an idiot, like a team manager really does bring everybody together, and Richie did a good job. So really, as I say, really happy to have done it with them, and it will definitely stick with me for a long time.
Tom, if you don't mind, just very briefly, just to touch on what happened post the end of the season. Was that a bit of a bolt out of the blue to you personally, or had you sensed perhaps that something might be brewing behind the scenes?
What's that with Ipswich not running?
Yeah, with Chris and putting the club up for sale, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that at all. The only issue that I had was that I think that Chris had mentioned that if we don't win the league, then there could be some sort of differences, because I thought maybe his time was over, and then we won, so I thought, this is going to be good. And Chris has gone his different way. He's done an absolute amazing effort with obviously the sport and Ipswich. So really, really big credit to him, and hopefully he can. I mean, I reckon he won't be long out, but we'll see. I think you give him a year and he'll be back in somewhere. So.
Well, the Louis family, Chris is completely immersed in Speedway, isn't he? So maybe he just needs a bit of respite for a season or two. And
well, I hope he does, because he would definitely be missed if he isn't.
So Tom Brennan, you're still only 24 years young.
I'm creeping up now, though, aren't I? 24.
Here's a killer question, Tom Brennan. So where do you assess yourself to be in terms of your career? So you're clearly racing in all the right places against all the right riders. What does Tom Brennan have to do to climb that next rung of the Speedway ladder? I'm
peaked. I'm washed up now. No, it's I mean, to climb that next bit of the ladder is going to be hard. It is. I mean, it's going to be a really, really difficult challenge. But at the same time, we're not that far away. Without sounding like a big head. We really work hard for this, and in the short amount of time, the 5 years we've really been professional. We've kind of worked that way up. So in terms of getting to the next level, it will just be about refining things. When you're younger and you kind of start off. I mean, this is something that Craig had said to me from the beginning, was that when you're younger, steps are very easy, and also steps are very big. But as soon as you get a little bit better and you're kind of close to that top level, the steps become minute. So we have to keep making those little steps and try and see if we can give it to some of those better boys.
Good answer. Tom, you mentioned already about getting back on the bike, so that might be late February, early March potentially. Yeah. I assume that you've been occupying yourself by getting all the machinery, all the equipment tip top and ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's go. Everything's good. The 3 in Poland are built already, which is great. My mechanic Christoph has been flat out over Christmas, so he's been good. And Kyle's also got the other 2 pretty much built now in England. So we'll be having 3 in Poland and 2 in the UK, and the same mechanic, same people around me, which is important. And the work behind the scenes is really unmatched. I mean, as soon as Christmas is over, things just seem to snowball so fast. We're getting parts, and there's now new rules in Poland regarding tyres, and oh my God, it's just, everybody wants the same thing at once, So have to be as prepared as you can. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the months of January and February look like, really, until you actually get on the track in March and everything falls off again. So.
Can you share a little bit of insight? What are those rule changes in Poland about tyres and other things? What are they?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if this is common knowledge. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I don't know about I mean, the main thing is there's a bit of a conversation at the minute about tyres, so whether we're allowed to use tubeless in Poland compared to having to run a tube, and that sort of thing. Because notoriously, it's been 5 or 6 tyres a meeting in Poland on like a tubeless setup. So whether there's going to be a cap, whether there's going to be a different wheel we have to use that is with a tube, which I think is a great idea because the tyres are like jelly at the minute. So yeah, I think that's probably the rules that's going to happen.
Tom, just a general question. I assume that I'll know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you the question out loud anyways. So the higher you climb up that speedway ladder, do you consciously detect that the sport is getting much more expensive season on season for you, Tom?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the biggest thing that opens your eyes is like a rear tyre for me growing up when I started National League and Championship was about £40 to £45 for like a new Mitas rear tyre. Now you're looking at £110 per analyst rear tyre in Poland, which you're then doing 3 in practice on a Friday. You're then racing on a Sunday and probably doing another 4 because you do new edge every single time. Before you know it, you've almost done £1,000 in tyres, and you think, where's that gone? And you can't reuse them because it's impossible because they fall to bits. I know that analysts are working hard apparently to be able to do like a different compound and different things like that. So I really hope that's good because analysts are obviously a good company and we really want to work with them, and I really hope that they can come up with something that's a bit more speedway friendly.
And the riders in Poland supply your own tyres? Is that how it works?
You supply your own tyres, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To put a little insight, if I were to go to Poland and get 0 points, I'd quite literally get 0 money.
Wow.
There isn't travel, there isn't cost, there isn't anything covered. But that's part of it. You know, Obviously Poland has found the riders which they want, and they obviously had to do a job. So if like you're not doing your job, you're not getting paid. So. Yeah,
it's a hard way to earn a living, Tom. You know what? I can only wish that I was ever brave enough to be a speedway rider, and it's the biggest regret of my life that I never tried it. Let's be honest, but it sounds so glamorous. But obviously the money side of it, the expense is phenomenal. You still there, Tom? Can you still hear me? Don't worry. There's a few glitches in effect tonight. Tom, you started the 25 season on a high, winning the Benz Fund meeting at Oxford last March, I think it was. All things being equal, Tom, do you have any plans to defend your title at Glasgow at the end of March?
At the minute, I do. I mean, I've always done the Ben Fund. I've always done that purely because the Ben Fund has been there for me many, many times. So for me, I would love to be a part of it. Whether I'm going to do it or not, I'm probably 50-50 right now. Purely because I have to really look at the future. I have to look at what's important to me right now. And we have to try and maybe wait as long as we can to kind of get back on racing. So right now it's 50-50. I would love to ride back at Glasgow again. It's been a few years, and from what I've seen, it's definitely changed up for the better with the track as well. So I hope I'll be there.
Good stuff. Well, fingers crossed, Tom, that everything goes for you over the next few weeks, and you feel confident enough, etc., to get back aboard the bike, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get to see you back on track at Glasgow at the end of March. Tom, I've just about forgiven you tongue in cheek for leaving Glasgow for Poole a couple of seasons ago, but listen, undoubtedly, and I don't mind saying this on camera, you're a good lad. I've always an absolute pleasure to speak to you, Tom, and
thank you.
Thank you once again for taking some time to speak to us on 360 Speedway. Can I just
ask Tom a question, Derek? Can just ask Tom something? Yeah, Tom, how are you going on? This year for the Grand Prix, what do you have to do to try and qualify for that this year?
So there'll be a Grand Prix qualifier. So there's Grand Prix qualifier, which is like there's 3 rounds across Europe. You'll be in one of them. So I'll be in one of them. So I think be like the standard, probably Africa, Argentina, and probably Lithuania or something. We'll be going there, and then you have to the top 4 from each round qualify into the Grand Prix qualifier. So then once you get top 4 in the Grand Prix qualifier, you then get in the Grand Prix. So I will be going to one of them qualifying rounds to kind of begin with. So that will be, I imagine earlier in the year. I imagine that's going to be like probably May, June time, I would imagine.
So you should be back fit and ready to go then anyway, won't you? But just that week, then you'll be okay. Good, I hope so. Love to see you in the Grand Prix.
Thank you very much. We'll be giving it a really, really good go.
I hope you do. I hope you do. As for all the English lads, like, you know, let's get everybody in it. Let's get them all in it.
Yeah, let's make it fully British. Let's go.
Yeah. Why not if we could? Hey, and don't believe Derek when he says he's forgiven you from going from Glasgow. Don't believe that one.
Read the face. Tom Brennan, thank you very much. A pleasure talking to you. Have a great 26th season, Tom.
No, can I just say, obviously, thank you for having me. And the other thing is, you guys are doing such a great job. So keep this up. There isn't any other sort of Speedway podcast that I see on my phone when I'm scrolling. So, really, really good work. And hope to see you boys talk some more rubbish, especially with Rambo That's great. When he comes on, he cracks me up. I love that.
He's a funny guy without trying to be, isn't he? Yeah.
Straight as there isn't any being around the bush. So, I kind of look forward to seeing what you guys have got in planned, and I'll be watching. So,
thank you for your kind words, Tom Brennan. Make sure you watch Fans Paul's Part 2 of episode number 2, which will auto start shortly. No need to do anything. We will be tackling a subject called keeping pace with British Speedway.